Well, I mean, there's two teams that are kind of doing really well. That's Houston and Cincinnati, and they're doing well. So you can say those teams are kind of separating themselves from everyone else, but everyone else is kind of like in a pack of fighting, right now, for sure. And UCF, I should say UCF because they only have two losses. So, but right now Cincinnati and Houston are doing really well.
Yeah, I know it's early, but do you already start to think about how important it is to finish in the top four and not have to play that extra game come tournament time?
Yeah, I mean it's here at our place, but you do want to finish in the top. You don't, and you have to control your own destiny. You don't want to have people lose out and all that for you to bump up. You have to take care of your own business, and yeah, you start thinking about that right now.
You have a loss like last night. You haven't experienced many of those in your coaching career. What's that like? What's these 24 hours like for you as you reflect on it and try to change going into another road?
Yeah, it's tough because we just didn't have the energy again to win what you need to win on the road, and just being very competitive. I understand that there is a process. But, we go in the game understanding what we need to do, and we have to have those wins, especially at Temple and last night. And they did a great job. I mean, you can't take away that. That matchup zone really caused us a lot of problems, and we just couldn't shake it. And then defensively, they did what they wanted to do as well. So you can't let the rope go on both ends of the floor. You got to be able to sustain somewhere, and we couldn't do it on either end of the floor last night.
What did Tyler show you in the second half there? Did you feel he'd been in a little bit of a slump for here and there, but did you feel like that second half? You think that's something that we can really build on?
Well, I mean, that's what we knew that he could do from the beginning when he signed here, that he was a weapon and that he could score the ball in bunches. We need him to continue to do that, and we also need him, on the defensive end. We have to get better as a group defensively. I think offensively, we're okay. We're leading our league in scoring, and what Tyler does, that's what he does. He scores the ball really well, and we need him to continue that.
Did the press in the second half get the energy up, or did the energy go up and that make the press better? Which was it?
Well, I think the energy itself, and the way that in the manner of which we played defense, it was desperate. It went from nonchalant to decent to desperate. And when it went to desperate, we turned them over. We felt like they couldn't handle pressure, but we could never get the energy up with the group that we had on the floor to get the turnover. So it didn't happen until we felt like we were about to lose the game, and then all of a sudden it went to desperation.
How do you create desperation before the game?
We're trying to do that every day in practice. It's hard to put that into guys. Most coaches go out and recruit those guys that you don't have to wind up to go out there and start with energy from the very beginning, and it's tough. You don't have many energy players on this team, so we need all the energy we can from those guys, and the rest of the guys got to just be support.
What do you see in USF? They're a lot better than last year, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Everyone's playing with energy. Tulsa played with a chip on their shoulders. You can just tell they were, from the very beginning, they were locked in on what they needed to do because they felt like we were a team that was capable to come in there and beat them. And, South Florida is going to be the same way. We're giving everybody every reason to try to pound on us on the road because we're not really fighting as hard as we need to. So all these teams are saying all we got to do is get up on them. All we got to do is keep punching them and keep pounding them, and they're going to give in. And that's been the thing that they've been talking about. We know that going in. We just have to punch first.
Jeremiah attributed some of the road struggles maybe to the youth of the team. Do you think that's a potential answer, or is it?
I mean, that's probably his version of how it is. But we got 5 seniors that play. You need the leadership from your seniors. If you're counting on freshmen to win, then that's very tough. Your freshmen are just adding to what you have, and we have some pretty good freshmen. But your seniors, they've been through this rodeo, so they have to lead. It has to be all seniors, not just 1 or 2.
Is it good that it's condensed like this? You play and you back out Saturday?
Yeah, it's like the NBA now. You lose a game, and then you're right back on the road and have an opportunity to make up for it. And we got to get a road win. We got to get on a string of putting some road wins together because we're playing exceptionally well at home. And that's still not a given, but we're playing exceptionally well at home and just horrible on the road.
Speaking of that, like on the road, it's like you take a punch, you just keep taking punches.
Mhm.
At home, it seems like you guys can respond. You mentioned that desperation. Did that change in the second half, like the way you were giving them the message, or did it just click in the second half?
I think it just clicked, and probably the people that we had on the floor. Like I said, Jeremiah and Alo at the guard spot are really high energy guys when it comes time for the energy and the pressure that we need to put on the ball. Right near to a certain extent when it comes to pressing, gives the energy or whatever. So those 3 guys kind of carried it. And then the other two guys just kind of Tyler and I don't know who else at the time, but they kind of followed suit.
Do you do anything else, like change the pregame meal or warm-up?
Man,
routine
it's
or
just
anything like that?
it's just the guys have got to make up into their minds. They got to make up in their minds that they're going to start the game off playing desperate. We go in with the mentality. We talk about it all the time, and we don't try to overdo it with saying, "Hey, man, we need this win." But it seems like the more pressure we put on the win, like we got to have it, it goes the opposite way. So I mean, it is what it is. We need road wins.
At one point against that zone, it looked like you guys had figured it out, and Jeremiah is right there at the free throw line making plays. Bruton at one point was doing the same thing, sort of like a quarterback. Why did it stop? And is that a discipline thing?
I think so.
You figured it out.
I think when the thing with this team is they're not looking for the easiest way to do things. It's almost like we just make it up as we go. The free throw, the guard at the free throw line, we put that guard there for a reason. There's a big that's coming up. So there's always going to be a mismatch. And I know it's easier said than done. Guys start shuffling, start moving, you start subbing, and things start changing. But whenever it starts to work, you keep going until they can't stop it anymore. But that's something we're going to watch film. I've already watched film, but as a team, we're going to watch film and talk about it. And the next time we're faced with that situation, then we'll be ready for it.
You think you're probably going to see that matchup zone again?
Oh, absolutely. Cincinnati plays that matchup zone, and we'll see Tulsa again in that same zone.
Jeremiah Keenan's got to be better for you. Bottom line on the
All the seniors have to be, for sure. I mean, they can't go 9 for 39 or whatever it was in the big games. They just can't, and it can't be all jumpers. You got to be relentless on getting to the basket, getting foul line, making plays. That's what your seniors have to do. That's what you expect from your seniors.
Those guys have been on the road and know what it takes to win on the road.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, all of those seniors do because they played a majority of the minutes last year. Their senior group.